Be me. Emma, 28, finally living alone in Brooklyn after 6 years of roommates who left dishes in the sink and borrowed my clothes without asking. My studio in Bushwick isn't much. 5th floor walk-up, radiator that clanks, shower that takes 5 minutes to get hot. But it's mine. I can afford it on my non-profit salary if I'm careful. Growing up, my dad was always going on about how women need protection, how the world is dangerous for girls. My mom never pushed back, just nodded along. It drove me crazy. This assumption that being female meant being helpless. I spent my 20s proving them wrong, moved to New York alone, built a career, lived my life without some man hovering over me like I'm made of glass. I'm not fragile. None of us are. We're just told we are so men can feel necessary. Sunday morning at Cafe Grumpy in Park Slope with Timothy. We've been dating a year and a half. He's a software engineer, one of those guys who listens when you talk and remembers your coffee order. We do this every Sunday. Coffee, split a croissant, talk about our week. He's stirring his Americano with that look he gets when he's building up to something. So I've been thinking about some safety stuff, he says. I look up from my latte. Safety stuff? For your apartment. He shows me a Ring doorbell on his phone. I could install this. And I was thinking, your walk from the L train is pretty long. Maybe I could start walking you home when it's late. Something tightens in my chest. Timothy, I've been living in New York for 6 years. I know, there was an incident last month. In your neighborhood. Woman got followed from the subway. I saw it on the Citizen app. That careful tone, like I'm fragile. So because one woman had an issue, I need a chaperone? That's not what I'm saying. Then what are you saying? He sets down his coffee. I'm saying I care about you. Some basic precautions aren't unreasonable. You know what this is? This is the problem with dating men who grew up with traditional values. You can't see women as equals. You always need to be the hero. Emma, that's not fair. Isn't it? Do you walk your male roommates home from the subway? They don't live alone. I'm a grown woman, Timothy. I don't need a man to function. He goes quiet. The couple at the next table pretends not to listen. I'm not trying to control you, he finally says. I just care. If you really cared, you'd respect that I'm capable of taking care of myself. We finish in silence. The croissant sits between us, uneaten. Walking back, he tries again. Can we talk about this? There's no wrong way to take someone treating you like you're incompetent. That's not... He stops, takes a breath. Okay, I hear you. But I can tell he doesn't. Thursday night dinner at my parents' house in Queens. My brother Jake is visiting from Boston. We're halfway through the meal when my mom says, Emma, we're so glad Timothy is looking after you. I set down my fork. Nobody's looking after me, Mom. You know what I mean. It's nice you have a man who cares. I don't need a man to care for me. My dad and Mom exchange that look. Jake jumps in. Jesus, Em, the guy cares about you. That's not a crime. Easy for you to say. You don't know what it's like to be constantly treated like you're incapable. I think you're reading into... This is my lived experience, Jake. Maybe listen instead of dismissing it. The rest of dinner is tense. I leave early, Saturday afternoon. Timothy comes over. I've been rehearsing this for 2 days. I think we need to break up, I say. He looks like I slapped him. What? We have fundamentally different views on gender roles. Emma, this is about the doorbell? It's about what the doorbell represents. You don't see me as capable. That's not how I see you. Then why all the safety suggestions? Because I care about you. Because bad things happen. I am safe. I've been safe for 6 years without you managing my life. He stares at me. Is this really happening? I think it has to. He goes to my bathroom, comes back with his toothbrush, opens the cabinet, packs his clothes into his backpack. The coffee maker sits on my counter. Take it, I say. It's yours. I bought it for you. Timothy. Keep it, Emma. He's at the door, turns back. I hope you know I never thought you were incapable. He stops. Shakes his head. Never mind. Take care of yourself. The door closes. His footsteps descend all 5 flights. I stand in my studio and feel vindicated, empowered. The coffee maker gleams on the counter, expensive and wrong. 3 weeks post-breakup. I'm thriving. That's what I tell myself. The L train platform at Bedford. Tuesday morning, 8:47 a.m. I notice someone at the far end. Guy in a scruffy dark coat, looking at his phone. Thursday evening, 6:32 p.m. Scruffy coat guy again. Same spot. Saturday, heading to the gym. He's there again. Probably nothing. NYC is random like that overlapping schedules. Coincidences happen. I come home Wednesday evening, climb 5 flights. There's something at my door. Flowers. Cheap carnations in plastic. No note, no delivery slip. I knock on Mrs. Chen's door across the hall. Did you order flowers? She peers at them. No, dear. Secret admirer? I force a laugh. Probably a delivery mix-up? She looks worried. You be careful, Emma. I throw the flowers in the trash. They're probably for 4C. Mail gets mixed up. It's fine. Friday at Planet Fitness. I'm doing cool-down stretches with Melissa when she says, something weird happened yesterday. Yeah? Some guy came in asking about you. Asked what time you usually come in if you work out alone. I told him I don't give out information. It was creepy. My heart beats faster. What did he look like? Regular? Dark jacket, I think? I laugh too loud. Probably just some awkward guy. Melissa doesn't look convinced. Emma, be careful, okay? That phrase again, like I'm not always careful. I'm always careful, I say. My phone buzzes. Jake. Jake. Haven't heard from you. Everything good? Me. Why wouldn't it be? Jake. Just checking. You seemed stressed at Mom and Dad's. Me. I'm fine. Don't need a welfare check. Jake. Wasn't trying to... Never mind. Love you. I don't respond. Week 4. I stop at the corner bodega. My usual, iced coffee. Everything bagel Mr. Hassan has owned this place for 15 years. Today he looks uncomfortable. Emma, he says, you have boyfriend? Weird question. No. Why? He hesitates. Man came in yesterday, asked about you, asked what you buy, what time you come in. I told him nothing. But Emma, maybe you should know. What did he look like? Regular looking, maybe 35, dark jacket. Dark jacket, like gym guy, like subway guy. Thank you for telling me. He hands me my coffee. You be safe, okay? I walk back, counting the things that don't add up. Subway, flowers, gym, bodega. All separate. Probably nothing. Probably. That night, I order pepper spray on Amazon. It arrives Thursday. I stare at it on my counter for an hour. Unopened. Ordering it felt reasonable. But opening it feels like surrender. Like admitting Timothy was right. The box sits there for 2 days. Finally, I request a return. Drop it at UPS unopened. I'm not afraid. Instead, I make a point of it. Every night, L train home at 10:47 p.m. same route. Left on Meserole, right on Waterbury. 15 minutes, headphones in, chin up. I'm not changing my routine. This is my city. Tuesday night, I hear footsteps behind me. I speed up. They speed up. I whip around. Empty street. I'm being paranoid. This is what happens when you let fear in. I keep walking. Not afraid. Thursday evening. I'm climbing to the 5th floor, keys in hand. The hallway smells like Mrs. Chen's cooking. There's something on my doormat, photos. My hands shake as I pick them up. 4 photos, printed on regular paper. Me at the gym, doing squats. The angle is from behind, focused on my body. Me at Cafe Grumpy, sitting alone at the table Timothy and I used to share. Me walking from the subway, headphones in. Me at Mr. Hassan's bodega. Different days, different times. Someone has been following me, photographing me. I'm inside, door locked, back pressed against it. I can barely unlock my phone. 911, what's your emergency? Someone's stalking me. I have photos. The dispatcher is kind but firm. Are you in immediate danger? I don't know. Is the stalker at your location? I don't know. Stay calm. Officers are on their way. 2 officers arrive 40 minutes later. One is young, female. The other is older, mid-40s. His nameplate says Reynolds. I show them the photos. My hands won't stop shaking. Officer Reynolds studies each one. How long has this been happening? I tell them everything. The flowers. The gym. Mr. Hassan. The subway. As I'm talking, I hear how it sounds. I ignored every warning. Do you live alone? Reynolds asks. Yes. Boyfriend? Family nearby? Something about the phrasing irritates me, even terrified. Why does that matter? He looks up. Doesn't seem offended. Because statistically, visible male presence deters stalkers. Someone staying with you changes the risk calculation. So your solution is, I need a man to protect me? The female officer shoots him a look. Reynolds sighs. Ma'am, my solution is, you need to not be alone in a building with a broken front lock while someone is actively targeting you. Man, woman, trained dog. Doesn't matter. Safety isn't about politics. That lands harder than it should. We'll file this report, increase patrols, but I'm being straight. Until he makes a direct threat or attempts contact, there's not much we can legally do. These photos aren't technically illegal if taken in public. So I just wait until he does something worse. I'm recommending you stay with someone, change your routine. If we can identify the suspect, we can pursue a protection order. They take the photos as evidence, give me a case number, then they leave. I'm alone with the knowledge that I've been prey for weeks. Melissa texts, dinner tomorrow? I call her instead, voice shaking, I tell her everything. Pack a bag, she says. You're staying with me and Josh. Melissa, I'm not running from my own home. This isn't about pride. I'm not running. Silence. Okay, but I'm coming over. I'll be there in 30 minutes. She comes. Sleeps on my couch. I pretend to sleep, but I'm staring at the ceiling, listening to every sound Jake calls at midnight. I texted him earlier. M, I'm driving down tomorrow. Me and my buddy Edward. He does security consulting. We're going to... Jake? No, I'm handling it. You're being stalked. I filed a police report. I'm fine. You're not fine. Let me help. I don't need you to rescue me. I'm not some damsel. Long pause. I hear him breathing. Jesus Christ, Emma. This isn't about feminism. This is about someone stalking you. I'm aware and I'm handling it. Don't come down. I hang up. From the couch, Melissa says quietly, You know you're being stupid, right? I don't answer. At 3 a.m., I hear footsteps in the hallway. Heavy, deliberate. They stop outside my door. I'm frozen, staring at the doorknob in the dark. The footsteps continue. Up the stairs, toward the roof. I don't sleep at all. Day 6 since the photos. I've stopped going to work. Told them I have the flu. I order all food delivery. My dresser is pushed against the door at night, kitchen knife on my nightstand. I check the peephole every 20 minutes. More notes appear, slipped under my door. The first, you said you don't need protection. Interesting theory. The second, I know when you sleep, when you shower, when you're afraid. The third is my schedule, my old schedule. Accurate to the minute 8:47 a.m. L train to work 6:32 p.m. L train home 7:15 p.m. Gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday 10:47 p.m. Home. He's been watching for weeks, learning me. I'm not eating. Can't remember the last time I showered. Melissa comes daily, but I barely let her in. Don't want her in danger. Mr. Hassan brings soup. I don't touch. My landlord finally fixed the front lock after I called screaming. Doesn't matter. The stalker's already getting in somehow. It's 2 a.m. on day 8. I'm sitting on my bathroom floor, fully dressed, knife in hand. I haven't slept in 3 days. I call Timothy. He answers on the first ring. Emma? I can't speak. Just crying. Emma, what's wrong? Are you hurt? I'm sorry, I manage. I'm so sorry. I know I don't deserve. Can you... What's your address? You know my address. I'm asking if you're there. Are you home? Yes. Lock your door. I'm coming now. Timothy, it's 2 a.m. I'm already getting dressed. 20 minutes. He shows up in 18 with Chris and Daniel, his roommates. 3 men at my door at 2 a.m. and instead of scared, I'm sobbing with relief. Timothy doesn't say, I told you so, just, tell me everything. I show him the photos, notes, police report. He listens, jaw tight. Here's what's happening. Chris brought tools. We're installing a real deadbolt. Daniel's setting up a security camera in the hallway, and I'm staying tonight. Tomorrow we figure out next steps. I start to protest. Habit. But nothing comes out. I'm too tired. Emma, you can argue about politics later. Right now you need sleep and you need to be safe, okay? I nod. They work for 2 hours. Install a serious deadbolt, mount a camera pointed at my door. Timothy sleeps on the couch. I sleep 4 hours. The most in a week, morning. Timothy makes coffee, badly. He never learned to use the good machine. Says, I called your brother last night. You what? Jake's been texting me for days. He's worried. I told him what's happening. You had no right. I had every right. You're in danger and you're too stubborn to let people help. I'm angry, but too exhausted to fight. What did he say? He's driving down today, bringing someone who can help. Jake arrives that afternoon, with Edward, tall, quiet, moves like someone used to assessing threats. Former army, does security consulting. Now Edward shakes my hand. Mom, let me take a look around. He walks my apartment, the building, asks questions. Where are the exits? Fire escape? Roof access? Who has keys? Comes back 30 minutes later. Your stalker has been accessing through the roof. Lock's broken. Anyone can get in. Then he moves through the stairwell buildings old enough he can probably hear everything through walls. He knows your routines because he's been listening. My skin crawls. The thought of him above me. Edward continues, matter of fact. Police can't help until he commits a crime. Building security is non-existent. You staying here alone is not an option. I start to argue. Edward cuts me off. Not unkind, just direct. This isn't a debate. Someone is hunting you. Accept help or wait until he escalates. Those are your options. Timothy adds quietly. Jake and Edward are staying in shifts. I'll be here too. We're not leaving you alone. Part of me wants to scream that I don't need this, but the larger part, terrified, exhausted, just feels grateful and humiliated, because Timothy was right about all of it. That night, I hear footsteps on the roof again, but Timothy's on the couch, Edward's in the hallway, Jake's in his car outside the footsteps retreat. I'm safe, but I've never felt smaller. Day 12. I'm leaving for work. First time in almost 2 weeks. Trying to reclaim normalcy, even though Timothy insisted on walking me to the subway. We're in the hallway. I'm locking my new deadbolt when I hear footsteps on the stairs. Coming down from the roof. Fast. A man rounds the corner, scruffy coat. Mid-30s, same guy from the subway platform. He sees me and smiles. Emma. Finally. Starts moving toward me. Timothy steps in front of me, Edward, who'd been waiting in the stairwell below per their rotation plan, comes up behind the stalker. Jake exits Mrs. Chen's apartment. They'd asked her permission to wait there. The stalker freezes, looks at the 3 men now surrounding him. His smile falters, Edward's voice flat and professional. You need to step back. The stalker tries to push forward anyway. She doesn't need you. She said she doesn't need... Edward moves. One moment the stalker is advancing. The next he's face down on the hallway floor. Arm locked behind his back, Edward's knee on his spine. Stay down. Jake's already calling 911. Timothy's asking if I'm okay. I can't speak. Can't move. Just staring at this man. This pathetic, ordinary-looking man who's been terrorizing me for weeks. Police arrive. Officer Reynolds is one of them. He looks at the scene, looks at me, nods once. The stalker is screaming now. This is assault! I didn't do anything. I was just walking in my own building. Edward, calm. He doesn't live here. I checked tenant records. Officer Reynolds to the stalker. Sir, you're under arrest for stalking, criminal trespass, and harassment. Reads him his rights. At the station, I give a full statement. Learn his name. Jason Krieg, 34, works in IT, lives in Jersey City. Officer Reynolds tells me they found more photos in his apartment. Hundreds. Some through my window. He'd been on the fire escape. They found detailed notes about my schedule, my habits, my re-education. Re-education? I ask. Reynolds looks uncomfortable. He posted on some forums, said he specifically targeted you to teach you about reality, about needing men. He saw you as a project. My blood runs cold. He chose me because of my beliefs, wanted to prove a point. I feel sick. What did he think would happen? Reynolds hesitates, then shows me his phone forum screenshots. Jason's posts planning this for months. These feminists need real-world lessons. Found the perfect target, vocal about not needing men lives alone. Predictable routine. I'll show her exactly why women need protection. Documenting everything for the guys who say it can't be done. There are responses, encouragement. Other men cheering him on, suggesting tactics. They'd been watching my life unfold like entertainment. He was going to... I can't finish. He was escalating, Reynolds says quietly. The photos through your window were recent. 2 more days, maybe 3, and... He closes his phone. Your ex-boyfriend's timing saved your life. Reynolds continues. He'll be charged. Restraining order will be in place. You did the right thing, having people with you if you'd been alone when he made his move. He doesn't finish. Doesn't need to. I'm staying with Melissa and Josh now. Can't go back to that apartment. Can't sleep there, knowing he was on the roof, on the fire escape, listening through walls. Timothy still checks on me. We're not getting back together. I ruined that trust. He's kind, but there's distance now. Sadness in his eyes when he looks at me. Jake went back to Boston but calls daily. Tells me he's proud of me for filing the report, for letting people help. Eventually I don't feel proud. I keep thinking about what I said to Timothy that day at the coffee shop. I don't need men to protect me. I still believe women are capable. Still believe in independence, in equality, in not being treated like we're fragile. But I was wrong about something important. I was wrong that refusing help equals strength. Wrong that every offer of care is condescension. Wrong that accepting protection means admitting weakness. Real strength is knowing when you can't do something alone. When pride becomes self-destruction. Timothy wasn't trying to control me. He was trying to care for me. And I threw it in his face because I couldn't tell the difference. Jake wasn't dismissing my experience. He was worried about his sister. Officer Reynolds wasn't being sexist. He was being practical. But I can't say any of this out loud. Can't post it. Can't explain it without sounding like I'm betraying everything I claim to believe. Without admitting I was wrong in a way that feels too big, too public. So I just stay quiet. Delete old posts, but screenshots live forever. I see the comments sometimes. Guess she learned her lesson. Reality has a way of teaching feminists the truth. They think this proved their point. Maybe it did. I don't know anymore. I'm safe now. Jason Krieg is in custody, facing charges. I have friends and family who still care despite everything I put them through. But I lost Timothy. Lost my apartment, my sense of security, my certainty about who I am and what I believe. And I still can't sleep without checking the locks 3 times. Still freeze when I hear footsteps in hallways, still feel him watching even though he's locked up. Some lessons cost more than others. This one cost me everything.